Now I bet you can hear me. I am so sorry, folks. I have no idea how that happened. I downloaded a Windows update, but that is the only thing I did is I installed a Windows update a little bit earlier today, and it had literally changed my audio device to something really odd. But anyway, that was a problem. My apologies for that. I didn't notice it. That's the last thing I expected to happen. So usually I don't have any issues there. So again, my apologies. I guess something with the Windows update earlier had changed my audio settings. Kind of odd. So anyway, like I say, sorry about that. Now I know why there were people leaving during the intro. I'm like, yeah, I know it's kind of a long intro and probably gets annoying every single day. But that time period for me is important. So that's why I play the intro. It's not necessarily for you guys. It's for me. It gives me that last few minutes before the show, actually during the first few minutes of the show, in case I have to run to the bathroom or I didn't get my second coffee yet or whatever. So that's why the intro. The biggest reason. So, and then also, like I explained, I think it was yesterday, it brings me down. It grounds me. So, to me, that's important. Anyway, you didn't have any issues? Yeah, I had no clue that this was going to be a problem. And in fact, I had done the videos earlier without issue. But I did those videos before I did the Windows update. So, that's how I know it had to be the update to have messed with it. But anywho, I put out a video earlier just for fun. So I lost a subscriber over that. I think my cat video offended them. And then just to clear up any confusion, this is what I was talking about when thank you very much, Citric2, let me know that there was no audio. So anyway, I just to clear up any confusion, if somebody got an email or anything like that earlier today, I did put out a video shortly after I did the cat video, and that video was only up for a couple of minutes, and then I marked it private. Now let me tell you what happened. You go on Amazon, and when you're on your orders page and stuff, on the right hand side, at least on the desktop, on the right hand side, it gives you items that you previously ordered, to make it so super simple for you to click and reorder. Well, I happened to look down, and there was toilet paper that we buy, which we buy it by the case. We buy Scott Professional toilet paper by the case, 80 rolls, and it just makes sense to buy stuff in bulk. To me, it just makes sense. Go ahead and take the hit 1 month and have 2.5 months of toilet paper. You know what I mean? It just makes sense. But anyway, so I looked down and I saw that case of toilet paper was marked down to like $26.70 something, I think it was. And I was like, wow. So I immediately started getting my software up, turned the lights up to get a video out to let you guys know about it. And so I did that. I got the video done, got it put up, and I'll be damned if I didn't go click on it just to double check. And I guess the deal was already bought up because it was back up to $48 and some odd cents. So, but man, I'll tell you what, keep an eye out. Scott Professional toilet paper is what we get. And let me hang on. I'll show you guys exactly what we get. I think I've actually put a video out before on this particular toilet paper. Yeah, right now, $51.57. That is up from earlier today, actually. So, hang on. Got to get on just that page. And, we get it wherever it's cheaper. Sometimes it's cheaper to get it, at Walmart. So, just whoever's got it cheaper is who we go with. So, this is what we get. Just in case anybody wants to know. Scott Essential Professional 100% recycled fiber bulk toilet paper for business, blah, blah, blah. That's how we buy toilet paper. And like I say, 80 rolls. I have to blow my nose an insane, stupid amount, okay? So most of the toilet paper we go through goes because of my snoz, not because of our butts. So I need to fix that because we waste way too much toilet paper. I need to start getting a old, tried and true handkerchief. That's probably what I need to start doing. Anyway, kick back here. So that deal didn't work out so hot. I was a little late to call it for you guys. So, but if I ever see anything like that, you better believe I'm gonna get on my best to get it out to you guys so you can save some money. That was a considerable savings. Anyway, interesting thing just not that long ago I saw. And what is more interesting was the reaction. First of all, you guys know how I can't stand misinformation and disinformation. Especially when it's just completely not necessary, right? I don't know why some people do this, but the reaction, the reply that I got, because I called something to the table, is mind-blowing to me. Why are people defending individuals that put out misinformation and disinformation? Well, maybe he didn't know. Then maybe not say it if you don't know. So let me tell you what it was, because it just, to me, it blows my mind. It was the Monkey Works channel, and it absolutely blew my mind. I cannot chat yet right now, dude, even though, dude, you're somebody I do want to chat with. I just got contacted by a message from somebody that deals with power supplies and stuff like that, electronics industry. So I've been actually waiting for them to send me a message. They sent me a friend request, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. So anyway, might have some interesting stuff in the future with that. But continuing on, Monkey Works channel. And he was talking about aircraft. And he is showing a picture of this aircraft that's in the process of being repainted. And he starts talking about the vertical stabilizer and the rudder. And he says they leave the paint on, okay? That's the first wrong. They leave the paint on because if they take the paint off, it will throw it all out of balance and the plane will crash. Okay, first let's start from the beginning. They will paint that part separately, okay, because they do have to balance the rudder. But if that rudder is out of balance, it's not going to instantly throw the plane into a death spiral into the ground. It's not how it works. And I don't know if he was trying to say it would throw the center of gravity off so much that the plane couldn't fly, or if he had it a little smidge of correct information about the balance part of it. But what essentially that will do, if your control surfaces aren't balanced, is it's going to cause you trim issues, and you're going to have a hell of a time trimming the plane to fly true, okay? That's one thing if you're flying an ultralight airplane, right? You just kind of adjust your trim if need be, and then adjust whatever you need to when you're on the ground. But when it comes to the bigger airplanes and stuff like that with autopilot, you could run into some issues with that as well if your control surfaces aren't balanced. So, yeah, it's important to balance your control surfaces. Absolutely, I won't argue that. But just because maybe you got a few ounces more weight on one side of a control surface isn't gonna necessarily throw your plane into a death spiral into the ground. So, I don't understand the point of it. Is it that the dramatic thing? I don't know. But then to defend it, that's nuts. That don't be like that. Don't be like that to anybody, especially me. Oh God, don't be that way with me. If I'm wrong on something, let me know. This isn't about ego. This is about you folks having the right information. That's simple. There is no ego in that. I don't know. Makes no sense to me. Anywho, I just thought that was real strange. Earlier I did a report about a fire that was not very far from us. Turns out that particular place, they were recycling batteries, and I'm assuming that it's going to be lithium batteries due to the nature of the fire. But wow, the emergency response to that was just absolutely mind-blowing. I've got a thing up here. Let me switch back to the web view. Now I'm going to read off through these towns, townships, cities, whatnot. And there's going to be, like, I'm thinking 3 of them or something that's repeated in here. Now, I don't know if that was just a complete mistake to have repeated that, or if it was because it was, said it once for the fire department and another time for, say, the EMS. I don't know. Anywho, as you see here, I mean, this, you want to talk about a response. Madison Fire, Fairmont City, MedStar EMS, Long Lake, Mitchell, State Park, Granite City, Waterloo, Camp Jackson, Freeburg, Lebanon, Fayetteville, New Baden, Alhambra, Holiday Shores, Hollywood Heights, Brooklyn, Godfrey, O'Fallon, Cahokia, Maystown, Edwardsville, Columbia, Hecker, Smithton, St. Louis City, North County, Spanish Lake, Hazelwood, Millstadt, Fairmont City, Blackjack, Maplewood, High Ridge, Ballmeyer, Florissant, Troy, Venice, Ferguson, Long Lake, Berkeley, and Edwardsville. Like I said, there was a few in there that was repeated. Wow, that is quite a few. Now, I'm surprised to not see Highland in there, and I don't know really why, because, Alhambra was there, for instance. Now, I wouldn't really say it'd take much less time for Alhambra to get there than us. We can kind of both jump on interstates and get there in a pretty short amount of time. But wow, that was just insane. So I believe there was one injury. I haven't really looked back into any of the further details of the fire itself. I believe there was one injury of an employee. But man, that was one heck of a mess. And I had said on the video that I didn't think this was the first time, and the mayor in a press conference had confirmed that it hadn't even been apparently a year since their last fire, and I do recall that. I don't think that was the first one either. So I think they've had quite a few fires there. I'm not going to sit there and say that it's negligence or it's fault or it's, maybe it's just the nature. I don't know. But if you're recycling batteries, that's going to be an eventuality, if I can get it out. But anyway, yeah, it's just amazing the response that it took to get that under control. So battery fires are not pretty, folks, at all. So I've got 6 tabs open, various stuff. Obviously, what I name the show after is going to be one of them. This just blows my mind. As you know, the whole deal with Trump and Mar-a-Lago getting raided. I don't know. I'm going to stand behind what I said, and that is that I think that this is absolutely politically motivated, and I think that it has to do with his potential run for 2024. Now, supposedly he's going to be coming out and announcing it, I guess, publicly, officially here soon. And I don't know why they're playing around. I guess that's all part of the hype too, just to kind of get people hyped up and ready to go. I have a feeling he's probably going to run. And I have a feeling that this here, what just happened with the FBI, is going to solidify that run. I really do. Now, do I believe everything is as it is, as we see? I don't know. I'm not naive. I'm not just going to jump and say, oh yeah, because he made my feelies feel good. I'm a little smarter than that. I'm telling you, I haven't trusted this stuff for a while. And when I see things like, I don't know, encouragement for red flag laws, when I see things like just magically being the guy to put in the Right to Try Act, and then I'll be damned if during that same 4 years we get hit with the pandemic, and that law just happens to fit perfect to be able to whip out with Operation Warp Speed and get everybody vaccinated. And still, by the way, supporting it. Still, that hadn't wavered. I've got concerns there, and I'm going to keep those concerns. People can do as they choose, but I'm not naive. I don't need to feel good, so much so that I'll just say it, that I'll be delusional in what's really going on around me. It's time we really take a good close look, folks, because what I see happening is that pendulum swinging, and I think we're actually getting used. I think they are playing us by swinging that pendulum back and forth, right? Because think about it. How far left are we swung right now? So let's entertain the thought that Trump runs and gets in office. You tell me, how far right is that pendulum going to swing? Way frickin' far right. Now, what happens after Trump? Because I'm guessing there's going to be an after Trump. What happens after Trump? Where's that pendulum going to go? Think it's going to stick there? I don't. I think you just put yourself in the absolute perfect position for a complete authoritarian, and I can't say the word right, authoritarian takeover. We're already pretty ripe for it. One more pendulum swing? Yeah, we wouldn't stand a chance. It's been in the news about a bunch of ammunition purchases, I believe, again. And the IRS, they've been putting out, job, or looking for employees, more or less. And part of the job is, I'm trying to think of how it's worded. More or less, you got to be willing to defend yourself and hang on. I hate it when I am that far off. And somebody had shared it, so here we go. Let me read it verbatim here. So here's the major duties of this job for the IRS. Adhere to the highest standards of conduct, especially in maintaining honesty and integrity. I'm thinking that's just a joke cover letter. Work a minimum of 50 hours per week, which may include irregular hours, and be on call 24/7, including holidays and weekends. Maintain a level of fitness necessary to effectively respond to life-threatening situations on the job. Carry a firearm and be willing to use deadly force if necessary. Be willing and able to participate in arrests, execution of search warrants, and other dangerous assignments. That's awful interesting. I think I know what they're doing. And I've said it before. I think what they're doing, in fact, I may have said this even yesterday, I think they're going to be watching all of these wallets like a hawk. Venmo, PayPal, you name it, Cash App, all of them. And I think what they're going to do, and I think they're going to be watching other industry too. I think they're going to be really watching closely things like eBay, Etsy, stuff like that. And I think they're going to come full-fledged after people. Now, let me explain why I think this is being made such a big deal. As you know, there has been a lot of rhetoric going on around the idea that there's not enough workers for the job. Nobody's applying for the jobs. Well, that's kind of a half-truth. There are people applying for jobs, and they're not getting them. There's a lot of companies that's taking advantage of different things that they get if they can show that they're trying to, get employees, and they're just not having any luck. But in order to do that, you have to advertise that you need work, right? So that's why some of these companies are doing that, so that they can get some of these privileges that come associated with that. The other side of it is that when COVID-19 came around and people got put in a bad way, a lot of people started side hustles and figured out extracurricular ways to make money. Well, the problem is a lot of these folks that are on Etsy, or the new ones that are on Etsy, they're on eBay or whatever, what have you, a lot of these folks aren't legal registered business paying taxes. So not only is the people that's doing the side hustle thing kind of screwing with the job market, because, that's going to make numbers look pretty bad, right? But they're also not getting their money. They're not getting their tax money. So I think that is the where and why when it comes to all these new IRS employees and these quote-unquote skills that they want them to possess. I think they're going to come after people full-fledged, I'm not going to be shy about it. That's one reason I backed off what I do, to be real honest. Because right now, as far as payment methods to wallets like that, that's a little sketchy right now. I don't know what all they're going to be doing. So, I've kind of backed off. Now, I'm still in the market to barter and whatnot. Still in the market for cash payment, but not I think it's probably wise to back away from the online wallets for a bit, at least until the dust settles, or, this is insane what is going on in this country. Absolutely insane. And to top it all off, and we're going to finally get to the gist of the title of the show tonight. Well, let's just jump on into it, because this is just nonsensical. U.S. is concerned about politicized law enforcement. And you're thinking, damn right we are, right? Damn right we are. This is crazy that's going on. FBI and... Oh, I didn't say our law enforcement. No, you must have misunderstood. Let me explain. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said on Wednesday that detaining an opposition politician might be a possible setback in establishing the right environment for the elections. Right, yeah. Don't you agree so far? Yeah. In the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Oh, yeah, we're talking about the Congo, not the United States. What do you mean? What do you mean there's any such thing as politicized law enforcement in the United States? There's no sign about that. Let's talk about Congo, though. Blinken met with government officials and activists in Kinshasa, a part of his trip to Africa. We have full respect for the laws of the DRC, but we are concerned about any steps taken that could actually reduce the political space, especially as the country heads into elections, Blinken said, according to AP. He added that he raised the issue with the Congolese government when he met with Prime Minister Jean-Michel Sama Lukonde earlier in the day. This is so funny. Blinken's intervention came after reports that Jean-Marc Kabund, a former vice president of the National Assembly, was detained and interrogated on Tuesday The Congo's prosecutor general is probing the former ally of President Felix, Tshisekedi, for making public insults and harmful accusations that were of offense to the president. Kabund lost the post and was purged from the Congolese ruling party after he criticized Tshisekedi. I can't say his name, or I can't even begin to say that. Earlier this year, he has since started his own party. Congo is scheduled to hold a general election next year. So, I mean, we've got our Secretary of State in the Congo talking about their politicized law enforcement. What do you do with this? I mean, where do you even go with it? Idiocracy. I am telling you, Idiocracy. We all thought it was a comedy when it came out. Oh no, it was a prophetic documentary. This, I don't know if this is going to have an impact here local to us. I don't know what's going on with their steel foundries over in Granite City, which isn't far from Madison where that fire happened. In fact, I think they're like butted right up against each other. But anywho, I don't know. I know there were 2 steel foundries there. I don't know if there's still 2 steel foundries there or who owns them or anything. At one time, one was Granite City Steel and the other one was called American Steel. And I know that since then they've changed and I don't know who owns what or anything else. But this could very well have even a very local, and I think it will have a very local effect because I do know that here, at least at one of the 2 foundries in Granite City, I believe they made the, I think they're called casters, the wheels for trains. So, and I'll get to that in just a second. It says here, major Russian steel and mining company Evraz announced on Wednesday the planned sale of its North American business and began seeking buyers. According to a statement published on the company website, the process is being conducted under the Office of Financial Sanctions Implementation General License. The possible transaction will be subject to regulatory and corporate approvals and applicable sanction laws and will require approval from the relevant sanctions authorities, including OFSI, the statement reads. Evraz North America described itself as a leading vertically integrated producer of engineered steel products for the North American rail, which is why I think it probably will include the Granite City plants, energy, industrial, and construction markets. It has steel making capacity of 2.3 million tons per year. Evraz shares were suspended from trading on the London Stock Exchange in March, and in May the UK government placed sanctions on the firm along with one of its main shareholders, Roman Abramovich. The UK-based steelmaker was formerly counted among Britain's biggest companies. So, and again, I don't know how that all changed hands and names and all of that stuff over there in Granite City, but I do know that it's changed quite a bit. And I'm pretty sure that foreign investors had bought it out, but I don't know any details, to be real honest. I know I have a brother that worked at one of them, and my dad worked at the other one. And I think, well, somebody on Facebook that I know has been advertised. I think that's where he works and has been trying to get an employee. I think I mentioned it before in the show. And it seemed like he could not get an employee. And apparently all that person has to do is sit in a fireproof box and watch for fires. And they couldn't fill a job. And that's not going to be a minimum wage job. I'm telling you. Not for the steel plant. But I don't know what's going to happen now. So... energy costs pushing Europeans into food poverty, says Bloomberg. It says here, food producers across Europe are contending with soaring energy prices, with that increase quickly felt in the pockets of consumers grappling with a cost of living crisis, Bloomberg reported on Tuesday. According to the report, citing a Bank of England forecast, a third of UK households are set to spend more than 10% of incomes on energy, and now surging grocery costs are driving up food poverty. It is the domino effect that has happened with us having to take a huge increase on energy, Ryan Peters, managing director of Brioche Pasquire UK, told the outlet. We have to try and raise our prices to retailers a little bit, and unfortunately that goes on to consumers, he said. Where's that at? And I don't know if that's pronounced Dia. If I'm mispronouncing that, I apologize. Where is Casper Mattress? Just curious, and curious what the heck a napper is. I mean, I'm assuming that doesn't mean laying on the mattress and taking a nap. Otherwise, I could qualify for that. Let's see. It says Kona Hake, head of research for commodities trader ED&F Man, warned, I think the worst is still to come as energy prices rise. The winter will be a game changer and processing costs will likely go up. Oh, okay. I think Jen was looking. Go to like a contact me tab, or usually that's how you'll easily find where they're at. Europe's largest sugar beet producer, Südzucker AG, has reported its first quarter revenues had been hit by a substantial rise in raw material, energy, and packing costs. They want you to be napping when people are... Oh, you literally mean people napping. Holy cow. Wow. Oh, wow. What? Oh, Jen's looking. I guess Target sells them. I guess is one of the places you can get them. Yeah, Jen's looking it up on the intertubes. Yeah, that's that is nuts. Getting paid to sleep. That I couldn't do it though. No. I definitely couldn't sit there and sleep in a store while people are walking around me. Let's see. Okay, continuing on, companies turning soybeans, rapeseed, and sunflower seeds into cooking oils have reportedly been slowing output in the UK and Europe and shifting production to other regions if natural gas shortages spark rationing, Bloomberg warned. Just like people are grappling with their home budgets, we're having to manage highly volatile energy and input costs, making sure every penny of our business spends and gets as income is actively managed in real time. Tate and Lyle Sugar's Senior Vice President Gerald Mason was quoted as saying by the outlet, "We're not running a casino, we're making food, which gives us a big responsibility to get it right." Yeah, that's crazy. And as if that's not bad enough, this is what's going on over in the UK. Cold weather combined with gas shortages is expected to force UK authorities to enact a reasonable worst-case scenario, providing for 4 days of blackouts during the upcoming winter, Bloomberg reports, citing people familiar with the government's planning. The probable outages may affect not only industry but also the country's households as a result of electricity capacity shortfall amounting to about 6 of peak demand, even after emergency coal plants have been fired up. Now see, here's the thing that concerns me. I have been reporting on this stuff seemingly every day for a while now. I'm pretty sure that if they didn't think it was going to happen, they wouldn't be putting out stuff every day. Now, I'm not saying that there is necessarily truly a shortage, or I'm not saying whether there is or is not games being played. I'm not saying that. What I'm telling you is they are being very clear. They aren't stuttering, they're not Bidening or anything like that. They are being very clear. And I'm telling you, and I know this is UK, but you better be ready here. You better be ready here. I don't think they've just really put it out in the media much here. I do expect them to start doing it here soon, shortly. I didn't know which word I wanted to say. But I expect that they're going to be talking about that here real soon. Man, I'm drilling through my coffee tonight. Let's see. And then, shifting gears here. Wait. I don't know if there was, Okay, they're saying here that the government's base case scenario doesn't include blackouts. The first stage of the UK emergency plan reportedly involves a network operator directing flows of gas on the system, temporarily overriding commercial agreements, while the second stage includes halting supplies to gas-fired power stations, triggering planned power cuts for industrial and domestic users. So, I mean, they're saying that, yeah, it's in the plans. We may have to do it, but that's not our, that's not the low-tier plan. Now, I think it's going to be especially ugly for people over there because of their dependency on Russian fuel, Russian energy, I'll say. But, man, I think we're going to suffer here because of very, very bad energy policy from this administration, coupled with greedy corporations that would rather you pay a higher cost for your energy so they can ship a bunch of LNG over across the pond. So I think it's nonsense what's happening. Switching gears here a little bit, I've got a couple on China. China says mission accomplished around Taiwan. Says here China has announced an end to the unprecedented military exercises around Taiwan, which were launched following the controversial visit by U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to Taipei. The People's Liberation Army said on Wednesday that it had successfully completed various missions during recent drills around Taiwan Island and effectively tested the troops' joint operation combat capacity, as reported by the Global Times. China said it will continue military training and preparation and organize patrols in the Taiwan Strait in order to resolutely defend national sovereignty and territorial integrity, Eastern Theater Command spokesperson Colonel Shi Yi said. The announcement comes shortly after Beijing released a white paper, which we're going to get to. Let's see, I don't want to repeat the stuff that Beijing noted that his contingency was needed to prevent external interference in separatist activities and accused anti-Chinese forces in the U.S. of deliberately escalating tensions between China and Taiwan. And it goes into about Pelosi and what happened as a result and all that. Do I think it's all good now? Do I think they're in the clear? No. I'm not going to pretend to act like I have any idea of a timeline, because I don't think any of us really do. I do think it's on the cards. I can't tell you how soon. If I were China right now, if I was in their shoes, I would be sitting back and watching what transpires between the United States / NATO and Russia. And I think I would just be waiting. And if the United States gets themselves tied up over in Europe, then that would be the ideal time, because we'd be pretty spread thin. So, again, none of us can give you a timeline. I don't think it's over, but it's not something that you should be losing sleep right now about. So, much more volatile situations, in my opinion, going on, even domestically, to be real honest with you. And then this is that white paper. China releases report on Taiwan reunification. Says here, Beijing wants peaceful reunification with Taiwan, but foreign powers meddling in Chinese domestic affairs and encouraging secession on the self-ruled island may make this impossible, a Chinese white paper has said. We will work with the greatest sincerity and exert our utmost efforts to achieve peaceful reunification, but we will not renounce the use of force, and we reserve the option of taking all necessary measures, said the policy document, which was released on Wednesday. The contingency is necessary to guard against external interference in all separatist activities, according to the paper, and does not target our fellow Chinese in Taiwan. Beijing stated that it would resort to violence only if forced to do so in the event of other parties crossing its red lines. The white paper sets out China's claim of sovereignty over Taiwan based on history, international law, and the aspirations of the people of China. It said cross-strait relations have vastly improved over the decades. Beijing sees peaceful reunification under the one country, two systems arrangement, which would allow Taipei to preserve its domestic policies as the ultimate goal of its Taiwan policy. The ongoing escalation of tension goes against the objectively beneficial path of reconciliation, the Chinese government said, blaming it on anti-Chinese forces in the U.S. They work to incite groups inside Taiwan to stir up trouble and use Taiwan as a pawn against China, it said. Left unchecked, this effort will continue to escalate tension across the straits, further disrupt China-U.S. relations, and severely damage the interest of the U.S. itself, the paper warned. Beijing will leave no room for separatist activities in any form in Taiwan, it added. Taiwan's administration under the ruling Democratic Progressive Party has adopted a separatist stance and colluded with external forces in successive provocative actions designed to divide the country, the paper asserted. It compared the separatist drive to the capture of Taiwan by Imperial Japan at the end of the 19th century, which became a rallying point for Chinese nationalism. Any attempt to take the island from China would go against the will of the 1.4 billion Chinese people, including the 23 million living in Taiwan itself, the document stated. So, I'll read just this one here. It says, Taiwan was the last bastion of Chinese nationalist forces during the Civil War of the 1940s, which their communist opponents won. The U.S. backed the nationalists and maintained informal relations with Taipei even after switching diplomatic recognition to Beijing in 1979. So, again, it's not anything going on that is, as far as China is concerned, well, none of it that we should be running around our house and screaming, flailing our arms. I'm sure it's going to happen. I have no doubt. I mean, they're making it very clear it's going to happen. But I'm not seeing where they're necessarily talking about tomorrow. I think Xi Jinping will sit back and see what goes on with Russia and go from there. Really, that's about all I got to say about that. Life is like a box of chocolates. You keep eating them and most of them taste like crap. Oh, wait, that's not what he said. God. That's how it is for me. You give me a box of chocolates, I don't like most of them in there. Yeah, and then the chocolate ones with the raspberry kind of, ooh, that is like way nasty. I hated those. You know, I used, always, Christmas, my parents would get a big box of chocolates, right? and it'd come with this little road map, right, that you could try to try to identify your chocolate. Yeah, that didn't work out real well with a bunch of kids. God knows which chocolate would be in which space, so it was all a guess. And man, I had the poorest luck guessing when it came to chocolates. Let's see. I'm not a super big sweets fan to begin with, so alright, you guys aren't here for that. There wasn't that many, believe it or not, that many headlines today. I was kind of shocked. I was getting set up for the show and going down through the list. I'm like, wow. Okay, let's run through these and get out of here, and I'll go to bed. Or I can go to bed. I'm ready for that. I still, feeling even better yet today, so that's a good thing. Absolutely good thing. Man, I hate being in pain. It sucks. Alright. NATO is stronger than ever, says Biden. You know what? Let's circle back. Let's do the Jen Psaki circle back to that napper job. The napper job at Casper Mattresses. Biden. There we go. We got the perfect employee for the napper job at Casper Mattress, Joe Biden. Anyway, continuing on. Trump ally says FBI seized cell phone. Cuba oil fire under control after 5 days. UK becoming emerging market country, says Saxo Bank. A German economy forecast to shrink. Japan calls ministers after cult controversy. I mean, that's pretty, extreme if they called them. No, I don't think they meant that way. China releases... Oh, I read that. Police shoot dead knife-wielding man at Paris airport. Energy costs pushing Europeans into food... Oh, I did that one. Sorry. Russia summons UN Security Council over nuclear emergency. EU state may resume purchases of Russian gas. Trump has made up his mind on 2024 presidential run, says a senior lawmaker. But to my knowledge, he hasn't announced it officially yet. EU ramped up Russian coal imports before the ban, says media. Ex-Twitter worker spied for key U.S. ally, says court. Russian oil supply to the EU set to resume. Russian NATO neighbor boosts snooping effort, says Wall Street Journal. Ears driving me nuts. Headphones make my ears itch. They drive me up a wall. Let's see. And they pretty much all do it. If I get the earbud things and I get the real small earpieces, that's the only thing that I can handle. Yeah, I know you guys really cared about that. Let's see. Russian oil supply to the EU set to resume. I did cover those. Madrid's mayor suggests deporting Ukrainians in prank call. German minister apologizes for photo in Ukraine. Iran pays first import order with crypto, says media. West should love to fight Russia to the last Ukrainian. West would love to fight Russia to the last Ukrainian, says Moscow. Zelensky makes prediction on conflict's end. Probably when we quit arming you. India ditches U.S. dollar and Russia trade, says Reuters. Amnesty Sweden co-founder resigns in Ukraine report. UK is running low on monkeypox jabs, says Sky News. Maybe if you're running low on monkeypox jabs, that certain individuals or groups of individuals should stop jabbing each other. Just a thought. Danish foreign fighter says he fears deportation from Ukraine. Covered that. And that G7 issues demand to Moscow. Musk explains reason for selling Tesla stock. U.S. senators divided over HIMARS ammo for Ukraine, says media. Trump hints at FBI's possible dirty trick. On-air protest Russian journalist is charged. Let's see. Didn't say if she was charged negative or positive or as a joke. Iranian charged with plot to assassinate former U.S. official. Doesn't say either there either. Let's see. France's largest wildfire might be an act of arson. U.S. wants prolonged Ukraine conflict, says China. And lastly, U.S. concerned... Oh, I actually did that one. So, we're already done. Fun times. I don't think it's going to get better anytime soon. I would keep your eyes open this week. Not necessarily for issues around the world to massively escalate. They could. I'm not saying that they won't or they couldn't. But I think we're going to have some things flaming up here domestically, and I'm not quite sure what. It's just that gut feeling. I think we're going to see something domestically as far as whether it be policy, whether it be who knows. This is insane, and this country is seeing a level of lawlessness. I know that a lot of people keep referring to it as a banana republic, and not that they're inaccurate. Not at all. I myself have a hard time grasping when I sit back and I look at what's going on in our nation. It's hard to believe. It is truly hard to believe what is happening and what's being allowed to happen. And again, we don't have the checks and balances working to fix it. They're all in bed with one another. And sometimes literally, I think. And so we don't have those things in place, the structure that our government was built upon to be able to keep everything balanced, to keep everything fair. Well, when all those different branches become corrupted and work together, they can run roughshod on the whole nation, and that's what they've been doing for some time. That's how you can have lawmakers that are just egregiously breaking law. Nothing happens. Nothing. Hillary's email servers, nothing. Epstein's client list, nothing. And you're going to continue to see nothing. Why? Because we don't have those checks and balances. And until the American people demand, the American people. I got involved in a conversation, I think it was this morning, and the dude, first of all, if you're going to debate me, might want to listen to the things I'm saying, because if you keep trying to dance around those very basic facts about me, we aren't going to be able to get anywhere. And this dude thought that just because, what was this about? And I think it had something to do with the FBI raid thing and all that. And anyway, just because, I thought that was wrong, that means I'm a Trump supporter, that means I'm a conservative, that means that I'm just this inside this box that he had built for me and could not see any way out of it. And I'm like, dude, I don't stand behind any of them. And it didn't matter how many times I said that, how many different ways I worded it. He could not understand that. He could not grasp that I wasn't either red team or blue team. It is mind-blowing. It is absolutely mind-blowing how delusional some people are. It has nothing to do with that. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. I'm not going to sit there and ignore the wrong things that people I like do because I want them to win. And that goes much further than politics or elections or anything else, even if it's for an ego boost. I'm not going to do it. I'm at a loss at how foreign it has become to just look at things for whether they're right or whether they're wrong, and then act accordingly. Because it's like today, right and wrong don't mean a damn thing. It's about whether or not your team needs you to cover for them. It's a perfect way to fail. Our nation, Exhibit A. Anyway, I am out of here. Hope you all have a good evening. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. And we'll do it all over again. So I hope to see you then. Again, I hope you all have a good night. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.